years ago, my oldest daughter had to take a DNA test for school just to figure out ancestry. During the DNA test, she came to me very, very sad because apparently me and her were not related. I was like, huh? When she told me this, I had to keep a straight face because the immediate shock was just wild. Then I decided to go with her to get a paternity test done. When we got the paternity test done, it was also concluded that I was not her father. At this point, I was shocked. I've had 4 kids with my wife, and she was the oldest, and I needed to see how far this rabbit hole went. I told her to not let her mother know that we know this information, and then I went to my next oldest child. Not mine. I went to the one below that. Not mine. And then I decided to stop there because the youngest child is so young that this may directly affect them, and they don't really understand what's going on anyway. So I didn't even want to go into that rabbit hole, but when I got the information, I immediately was like, let me go talk to my wife about this. So, like always, she didn't take responsibility or any type of accountability, and she said, how are you going to believe your wife over these tests? I was like, are you serious? Are you like, for real, for real? Like, is this really where you're gonna go with this? Then she starts crying profusely and saying it was only one time, I didn't mean to do it. And I was like, it was only one time? Hey. And then I showed her that each one of the children aren't mine, with the exception of the youngest, as so I think. That's when it dawned on me that it was one time, multiple times, and then when we looked, each one of the children had different baby fathers, and somehow that made it even worse, because it wasn't just one person you was cheating on me with. This is a habitual thing with multiple different people that you probably don't know about, and I'm taking care of their kids. They're my kids. They're my kids. I've raised each and every one of them from a super young age, and they stood by me through this whole situation. But to think that she's not who she said she was, because up until that situation, I thought we had a great marriage. I thought we had a great life. I thought everything was going good. I thought that we were building together and already have built together. She is a stay-at-home mom that works on things that she wants to do. She takes care of the kids. She cooks. She cleans. She does everything that's needed inside of the relationship with me. Yet she didn't tell me that she wanted to go outside of the marriage. She didn't tell me that she wanted to do anything. Anyway, after finding out the information and getting her side of the story, I let her know I would need a couple of space. So I had rented a hotel for a couple of days, and I stayed in it. I stayed away, and it was all right. It was good, but I really missed my kids, and I wanted to see them. So after a couple of days, I was back inside of the house, but I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't say anything to my wife. I didn't speak to her. She would try to talk to me and I would look away. I would take care of the kids. I would grab the kids, take them to the mall, do different things with them. And everything was just, I was just trying to figure things out. I was just trying to see how I could make our relationship work, or see if I need to separate and just take the kids myself. Like, I didn't know what to do, if I had any like legal rights to these individuals. Yeah, my name's on the birth certificate, but I'm not biologically theirs. I just wanted to figure things out, but I didn't even get that chance, because 6 days ago she decided, other than taking any type of responsibility, to have a hangout session with the chandelier. And I'm so happy I have my kids, because I just don't know what I would like. It's just baffling to me. Because the whole time, even with evidence, she just kept denying and denying and denying and denying. And I don't know if I did something wrong. I don't know if I was never supposed to know in the first place. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to not have...
Fellas, this one right here is heartbreaking, but it's also a brutal wake-up call. Imagine giving your entire life to a woman, raising kids, building a family, smiling in pictures, thinking you're living the dream, only to find out years later, not one, not two, but all 4 children aren't even yours. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Now let's get into it. See? This man thought he had the perfect family, but behind his back, his wife was living a double life while he was working, sacrificing, being a husband and a father. She was out entertaining other men and bringing back children that weren't even his 4 times over. And the craziest part, she never intended to tell him. She was ready to take that lie to the grave. You know what exposes the truth nowadays? DNA. And thank God for it. Because without those tests, countless men would still be unknowingly raising children that belong to somebody else. You know the old saying, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. And as painful as that is, it's reality. Now, think about the psychological damage here. You're a man who's been pouring love into these kids, bonding with them, sacrificing for their future. Then boom, one test rips the whole foundation apart. You're not just losing trust in her, you're losing a part of your identity. You start questioning everything. Was anything real? Did she ever love me? Who am I if my own family isn't even mine? But here's the kicker. Instead of owning what she did, instead of facing accountability, she couldn't handle the rejection. When he pulled back, when he gave her the cold shoulder, she broke. Because modern culture has raised a lot of women to believe they can do no wrong. That if a man reacts, he's the problem. We even hear women say things like, "You're gonna believe a test over me." Yeah, because science doesn't lie. Feelings do. And let's flip the script. If a man lied about something this serious, if a man wasted years of a woman's life letting her raise kids that weren't hers, the internet would crucify him. But when the roles are reversed, suddenly the excuses pour in. He must have been abusive. He must have driven her to it. It's his fault she cheated. No accountability, just blame. This is why men are checking out. This is why trust between the genders is collapsing. Because when betrayal this deep happens, there is no bouncing back. And if you think this is rare, think again. Stories like this are popping up every single week. Fellas, protect yourselves. DNA testing at birth should not even be optional. It should be mandatory. Because no man should have to live this nightmare.